I'm on a search to find Australia's best hidden gem, and I've heard rumours that this course might just be it. I've heard rumours that this course has holes that you just will not believe. I've heard so many great things about this course, which is why I'm excited to play Axedale Golf Club. Axedale is a small town just outside of Bendigo, and its golf club is batting well above its average. I was fortunate enough to be able to walk a few holes in the morning with their club president, Owen.
Yes. Okay, obviously we're out here at Axedale. I'm here with the president, Owen Davies. Owen, thank you very much for having me out. I know we've only played one hole so far, but yeah, I'm already super impressed and blown away. On the phone, you were telling me a little bit about the history of the club.
There's almost two histories, I guess. Golf started around about 1900 here. The club's been around until 1956 when a huge flood hit.
Yeah, right.
And the club actually went into recess for 17 years.
Wow.
So we've got a group of members at the moment who are now life members who restarted the club in 73. And here we are.
The opening stretch of holes at Axedale really draw you in. The first is just a little par 3. Then you have a downhill tee off, uphill approach shot on the second hole, and a blind tee off on the third hole.
Now, one of the interesting things that has stuck with me ever since our conversation is you said this course was laid out by members.
Yeah, it started life as a 9-hole sand scrape. Around about 1980, a group of members decided to turn it into 18. They formed a subcommittee, laid it out, did some bulldozing, and here we are.
And that subcommittee did an incredible job because we're left with holes like this. 230 metre, blind tee shot, downhill, par 4. Green is protected by a creek. It's just incredible. It's the ultimate risk versus reward hole. I was strongly advised against the risk because I don't hit it that long and just hit an iron out to the right-hand side. I actually wish I spent more time capturing the hole from this angle because when you're standing at the top of that hill, looking down, looking over the creek and looking at the green, it's just beautiful. And it's one of the reasons why I decided to leave a camera on the other side of the creek. Not because I don't want to show you a close-up of my putting, because that is bad, but because the view from that angle is just incredible.
This is another beautifully picture-framed approach shot, or tee shot.
That's great.
That worked out perfect.
Good position, really good position.
I really wish I could have capitalised on that good positioning, but I didn't, but that's okay. Now, even though this is a short par 5, it is still stroke index 3, and that's because the hole just bananas the whole way around the right-hand side, making it very difficult to hit the green in 2. Now, if you haven't seen me play before, I'm actually a 24 handicap golfer, so I'm not hitting the green in 2. I'm actually not even hitting it in 3. It actually took me 5 shots to hit this green.
All right, Owen, we've played 4 holes so far.
Yep.
Again, it just keeps getting better. Now, as we were walking down that fairway, you were telling me about the floods in 2022.
Yeah. So October 22, we had a massive flood. Eplock Reservoir is only 5k up the road.
Yeah, okay.
And it spilled, and this, where we're standing now, was 3 or 4 metres underwater. And the whole course, we had 10 greens underwater. And we had to get those cleaned within 2 days because otherwise they're gone.
Yeah, that's incredible.
So we had big working bee, and here we are 4 years later. It looks fantastic.
It does look fantastic, and I'm really going to apologise for what happens next because on the 5th hole, I do not know how I did this, but I actually completely shanked my driver out to the right-hand side, so I ended up being back on the 4th hole again. After I hit that 5-iron back in play, I realised that the 5th hole isn't really that hard. It's relatively short, it is narrow, it's got bunkers around 200 metres. All you need to do is just keep it in play and get a wedge onto the green. Now once you're on the green, this is something I haven't mentioned yet. The greens were pure. For a country golf club, they quite surprised me. I struggled with the pace early on, I ended up sorting it out by the end.
Hole 6, beautiful looking par 3, about 150. Slightly into wind, but slightly downhill.
Now I ended short down here on the fringe because honestly I was terrified of the 2 bunkers. There was one if you fade it too much, there was one if you hook it. Leaving it short for me was a good miss. Although the green is the size of Texas, so I don't know what I was worried about. All in all, a really fun par 3 with an elevated tee box. Now, there's no time to slow down because we're now playing stroke index 2, 515 metre par 5, that's a double dogleg. It's going to take 3 very good shots to get on the green. First one's okay, was lucky to stay up just here by this big old tree. Second one, also very good, just a choke down 3 wood straight down the middle.
This hole's a true 3-shotter at 515 metres. Just need to sort of get down there, hopefully just land up short of the green.
Now, I made a pretty good connection there, and I did end up just short of the green in that greenside bunker. Now, I'm not known for my bunker shots, and even though this one went 10-15 metres past, I was pretty happy with that. The sand was soft, I got good connection, I didn't flub it, and then I had this incredible putt.
That is a fantastic putt. That is a fantastic putt. Compared to what I've been doing so far, wow.
Now, one thing I've been mindful of the whole way through is that I really want to do this course justice because there's a lot of people that put a lot of effort into this course, as Owen's about to explain now.
There's a group of members every Tuesday that come out and just help little bits and clean the course. They just come and help trim some trees and things.
We have a Tuesday working bee. We generally get about 20 blokes.
Yep.
Chainsaws, picks, axes, you name it, and away we go. And look, it's all the 1%ers that we can do. Yep. Which enables the paid staff to look after the golf course proper. Yeah,
and it's those little details that really make this place special. So, no, I could really tell that a lot of people put a lot of heart and soul into it, and it looks great.
Great.
One thing that you might have seen already, and it's something that I'm really enjoying, is that the golf course forces you to make decisions. And just like on this tee, it's a 250 metre dogleg around to the left, par 4. And for some reason, because I've been hooking my driver, I decided to just play driver and see if I can sneak around that corner. Which I couldn't.
Okay, got about 80 metres to the back of the green. It is uphill. I'm just going to chip a pitching wedge to keep underneath those trees over to the right-hand side.
Now that's another fun hole that I made look harder than what it actually is. You just need to play a nice shot to the corner, get on the green, 2-putt for a par. But I ended up doing it the hard way. And yeah, I left it short, but I tapped this one in for bogey. It doesn't matter. I'm having a great time. I'm 8 holes into this golf course and it has blown me away. And the 9th hole blew me away as well. The tee box is elevated. You're hitting over the road, over a creek to a decent landing area, and then it just goes directly uphill. Like, looking at that little window there just took my breath away.
Okay, I'm using the Stinger RF Mini. It has a little LCD screen that tells me how far away it is to the pin. Now, I'm not playing competition, and purely as an example, you also have slope, which I'm going to turn that on, which I don't usually use. Playing uphill as 150. There's a little LCD screen down here that tells you exactly everything that is shown up there, which is amazing. So it's 11.9 metres uphill. So it says I need to play it as a 150 shot.
So I aimed to the left of the green thinking that I was going to fade something up there, but it actually went dead straight. So I ended up being pin high on the left-hand side, which is not a bad thing because I had a really good lie. It's a really nice landing area once you're up there, and it's a relatively big green, so I had plenty of green to work with.
Wow, okay. Bravo.
Yeah, just quietly happy with myself there, and I ended up getting up and down for a par, and that finishes the front 9. Moving on to the back 9 now. You start with a nice elevated tee box and out of bounds right because that's the road, and obviously I hook it to the left, but that's okay.
I didn't hit that well at all, but it's going to be okay.
Now, it seems like a pretty popular place to be because the group before me were down in the same spot, just needed to get it back onto the fairway and move along. It's not an overly difficult hole, but I think because you got out of bounds on the right-hand side of that road, it really plays with your head. Oh, man. Nice little shank there with the wedge. Now, it did take me a few putts to get into the hole, so I ended up with a 7. But now we get to cross the road and move on to what Owen was calling the snake pit. It's a collection of 5 holes that are just on the other side of a road that snake their way in between the trees, and you finish with a pretty cool downhill approach shot on 15. Now, the snake pit starts with a perfectly framed tee box here on 11. You've got to hit a nice little fade down there into the middle of the fairway to be able to give you a decent approach shot onto the green. Fortunately, I was able to do that. Unfortunately, I couldn't hit 2 good shots in a row. It ended up fitting this one over to the right-hand side.
That's not what I wanted.
Now, after a couple of ordinary holes and a couple of ordinary shots, I started to fear that I was starting to wear myself out after such an early start. But I reminded myself I wasn't here for my golf game, I was here to show off his course. Next up, we have a 120 metre par 3 12, and it is drastically uphill. Taking an extra club here is definitely recommended, otherwise you'll end up short, just like I did, and just like my birdie putt did. Now, hole 13 is the third and last of the par 5s, and just like the last two, it has a double dogleg, this time bending around to the right hand side.
That might bounce down towards the 11th.
Now, I got told after the round that this actually happens a lot, and it's a very tricky shot to get it back over onto the fairway. So I tried to putt or punch my 3-wood to get across there, which it didn't get the whole way there. So I definitely needed to take an extra shot before I got to the green, which wasn't in that bad of a spot. So it's a really tricky par 5 because you really got to make sure you're in play. Otherwise, you'll get heavily punished. Hole 14 is a nice little pellet cleanser. It's a 160 metre par 3 that goes downhill. And even if you don't hit it all that well, the ball's got to roll a long way and it'll give you a chance at getting up and down for par, which is exactly what happened to me. Even though I didn't get up and down for par, I'm always happy with a bogey. Now, hole 15, I wasn't expecting because I didn't do the drone footage before I started playing. I did this after my round, and I had no idea how far left it goes or how far down it drops on the approach shot to the green. So I looked at it from the tee box and thought, there's plenty of room up there. Let's have a crack. And I got myself in possibly the worst spot you could be.
Whoa. Okay. It bounced up there. That was a nice spinny, cutty fade. Now, I hate putting the camera behind me. I hate it. But I've got to have to slice something around, and I think that the best way to see it is from that angle. So nice little slice down, little punchy, slicey 5-iron, get down the hill. Just like that. And hopefully the camera picked it up perfectly because that's what I wanted to do. Now, I didn't realize there was this massive hill. So my shot was perfect. It's rolled down the hill perfectly to be at the front of a green. Now, I apologize to the guys that were just here because, I didn't realize that was the case. I hit a low one, so hopefully they would have just seen it rolling down and it wouldn't have disturbed them, but I didn't know. Let's see if I can get a par here. Well, huh? Okay. Oh, that's actually a 4-pointer for me. Although I'm not really scoring.
All right, now after that, we get to escape the snake pit by walking over this bridge. Hang on, who's that handsome devil? And then we have to cross over the road here and we get ourselves over to the 16th, the easiest hole on the course. 125 metres straight downhill. Now, although I ended up just short, I had a really good look at this and I hit a pretty good chip shot with my 9-iron, just a little bump and run, and I nearly hold it. Wow. Now I've got to sniff it trying to get par, and I miss that. So a bogey here is okay. Now, I haven't seen this too many times, but we go from the easiest hole on the course to the hardest hole on the course. This is hole 17, 365 metre par 4, very, very tight, goes around to the left-hand side and has an insanely difficult approach shot.
Oh, that's actually perfect. That is spot on.
Yeah, I could not have hit that tee shot any better. This is the perfect positioning. I was still got about 150 metres in uphill, and as you can see, I happened to get over the top of this one here and gets out to the right-hand side.
I think that's in the bush. All right, it's not too bad. Just got to get this one up. On the green, let the ball do the work once it gets up there.
Now the ball roll is just out of frame here, but it's actually in a really good spot, and I have a really good look at getting a par on the hardest hole on the course.
Oh my goodness, wasn't bad.
As I put this one away for bogey, I start thinking about the 18th, and it's actually a relatively fun finishing hole. It's a 175 metre par 3, and the way I play it goes exactly like this. Yeah, it was an absolute wreck. I topped the ball along the ground. I chunked it getting out. It wasn't that great of a hole for me, but it didn't matter because I just finished playing Axedale Golf Club, and after spending the day there, I was left with one question. Is this Australia's best hidden gem?